The limousine rolled slowly through the gates of Jefferson Middle School, its tinted windows reflecting the bright afternoon sun. Inside, President Joe Biden adjusted his blue and gold striped tie and ran a hand through his thinning white hair. This was supposed to be a good day, a simple day. No political battles, no press hounding his every move. Just him, a room full of kids, and a message of unity. The idea had come from his staff-on outreach event to connect with young people, to discuss inclusiveness and tolerance in schools. "You'll love it, sir," his press secretary had assured him. "It'll be just like the old days when you talk to young voters. You're great with kids." Biden smiled at the thought. He had always prided himself on being a man of the people. He loved Kidshell. They were the future of this country. But as he glanced at his prepared speech in the folder on his lap, he felt a twinge of nervousness. He was great with kids, right? The car came to a smooth stop, and the door was opened by a Secret Service agent. "All right, Jack, let's go make some history," Biden muttered to himself as he stepped out, his polished shoes crunching against the pavement. A handful of school administrators were waiting by the entrance, all smiling stiffly, as if unsure how formal they should be. A thin, balding man in a tweed jacket stepped forward first. "Mr. President, welcome to Jefferson Middle," he said, extending a bony hand. Biden shook it firmly, smiling. Thank you. And you are?" Principal Harrington, sir," the man said, clearly surprised that the president didn't seem to know. "Principal Harrington. Good. You know, I knew a Harrington back in Scranton. Tough son of a gun, built like a brick wall." The principal chuckled weakly. "Well, the kids are very excited to see you, sir. We've told them you're here for a special lesson on kindness, inclusion, and tolerance." Biden nodded, his expression growing serious. "That's right. Important stuff. You know, when I was a kid, we didn't talk about this enough. Folks just treated each other however they wanted. And sometimes, that ain't right. People gotta be nice to each other, Jack. Respect. That's what this country's built on." Harrington nodded along, though Biden had lost him somewhere around bam. "Well, they're all inside, waiting for you." Biden clapped his hands together. "All right, let's go see the little rascals." The classroom was full, with around 30 middle schoolers crammed into their chairs, whispering excitedly as they waited. A few kids in the back scrolled on their phones, barely glancing up. Others were staring at the door, waiting to see if it was really him. When Biden finally stepped in, the whispers turned into excited murmurs. Some kids gasped. A tall boy in the back nudged his friend hard in the ribs. "Bro, no way. It's actually him." Biden raised a hand in greeting. "How's everybody doing today?" A few kids half-heartedly muttered good, but most of them just stared. Biden grinned. "Come on now, you can do better than that. How's everybody doing today?" "Good," a few kids said louder. A girl in the front, maybe 12 years old, tilted her head. "Wait, are you actually the real president?" Biden chuckled. "Last time I checked." Another boy in the second row raised a skeptical eyebrow. "Shouldn't you be, like, in the White House or something?" Laughter rippled through the room. Biden smiled, unfazed. "Well, let me tell you, Jack, folks, I've been in the White House plenty. It's a nice place, real nice. Big house, got a lot of rooms. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta come out. Talk to the people. That's what a president does, listens, learns. And today, I'm here to talk about something real important." He moved toward the whiteboard and picked up a dry erase marker. The cap was stuck on tight. He twisted at it for a few seconds, then gave up and gestured toward the board. "Now, who here knows what inclusiveness means?" A small hand shot up in the middle of the room. A boy with shaggy blonde hair answered confidently. "It's like, making sure people feel included?" Biden nodded enthusiastically. That's right. Smart kid. And, that's what this country's about. We include folks. We welcome them. That's America. It's what to mean. It's what we allude. Look, when I was a boy, we had a saying, you don't judge a man by the size of his wallet, but by the strength of his heart. The kid stared at him blankly. The boy in the second row leaned over to his friend. Dude, what is he talking about? Biden didn't seem to notice. He pressed on, pacing slightly as he spoke. You see, when I was a young fella back in Scranton, we didn't have all this fancy stuff. No phones. No, well, we had phones, but not these phones. We had the kind where you anyway. The point is, kids, we gotta be good to each other. We gotta treat folks right. Just like my pop used to say, Joey, it don't matter where you come from, it matters where you're going. There was a long silence. A kid in the back muttered, "What does that have to do with inclusion?" Another kid leaned forward. "Wait, what does Joey mean?" "That's me, Jack," Biden said, pointing a finger at himself. A few kids chuckled. Biden kept going, undeterred. "Now, you see, in school, sometimes kids get left out. They get bullied, picked on. That ain't right. We gotta look out for one another. I remember when I was in school, there was this fella named, what was his name? Tommy? No, it was Charlie. Charlie McMack something." He rubbed his forehead. The room was silent. The kids exchanged glances. Biden looked up at them, blinking. "Wait, where was I going with that?" The mischievous-looking boy in the back smirked. "You were telling us about Charlie McSomething." A few kids giggled. Biden scratched his chin. Right, Charlie. Now, Charlie, he was a tough kid. But he was also, what's the word, he had a thing, a condition. The kind of thing where you, Sir, are you talking about inclusion? A girl asked hesitantly. Biden snapped his fingers. Right, inclusion. See, now we're getting somewhere. The kids weren't sure whether to laugh or sit in confusion. Something was off. And for the first time, Biden started to feel it too. The air in the classroom had changed. At first, there had been excitement and energy buzzing through the room at the sheer novelty of the President of the United States standing before them. But now, the energy was different. It was uncomfortable. The kids weren't awestruck anymore. They were watching, waiting. Biden rubbed his temples, trying to gather his thoughts. Now, where was I? A freckled boy in the second row smirked. Charlie something? A few snickers rippled through the room. Biden snapped his fingers. Right, Charlie, good kid, real good kid. He had this thing. He trailed off, staring at the ceiling as if the answer might be written there. The kids sat in silence, some exchanging glances. Others just watched, their amusement slowly growing. A girl in the front row hesitated before raising her hand. Sir, are you okay? Biden blinked. Me? Oh, I'm fine, sweetheart. Just, gotta make sure the old memory's working. He tapped his temple and chuckled weakly. The kids didn't laugh with him. A boy in the back muttered just loud enough for his friends to hear, Bro forgot his own story. His friend stifled a laugh. Biden turned back to the class, nodding as if he'd just remembered something important. Now, listen, folks, this is serious. Bullying ain't right. Never was, never will be. I remember back in Scranton, we had this, there was this one time too. Back when I was playing ball, basketball was it football? He stopped, blinking again, then chuckled. Well, point is, Jack, we had a code, a rule. If somebody tripped you, you didn't just get mad, you had taught. The silence in the classroom was thick. A mischievous boy in the back raised his hand. Mr. President? Biden looked up. Yeah, son? The boy grinned. What sport were you playing again? Laughter. Biden frowned slightly but shook it off with a chuckle. You kids? Always testing me, huh? That's good. That's real good. Keeps the brain sharp. You ever hear the thing about, the thing? The brain and the fish? Or was it the bike? More laughter, now louder. A blonde girl whispered to her friend. Wait, is he serious? Biden rubbed his hands together and took a deep breath. He needed to get back on track. Now, let's talk about tolerance, folks. That's what I'm here for, all right? It means you gotta, let people be people. And I remember back in Scranton, a boy in the second row interrupted with a grin. A burst of laughter. Biden forced a smile. Hey now, listen, Scranton's a good place. Good folks, hardworking. Built this country. That's the thing about America. We build, we do. Just like my pop used to say, Joey, if you don't. A kid in the back whispered loudly. He's about to say Joey again. More giggles. Biden narrowed his eyes slightly. but the smile stayed. All right, smart guys. Let's see how smart you really are. History time. The kids straightened up a little. Biden grinned. Who here knows when the Declaration of Independence was signed? Several hands shot up. A confident girl in the front answered first. The 4th of July, 1776. Biden pointed at her. That's right. Good, good. Smart kid, real smart. But Noah, let's see. What about the Emancipation Proclamation? A boy in glasses answered quickly. 1863. Biden snapped his fingers. See? That's what I like to hear. Smart, sharp minds. He paused, squinting slightly. And, who was president when that happened? The kids blinked. Lincoln? The boy said slowly. A short pause. Biden clapped his hands together. That's right. Honest Abe, great guy. I met him once. Silence. The kids froze. Some turned to each other, mouths slightly open. A boy near the back whispered, Did he just say he met Lincoln? A girl stifled a giggle. Biden continued, oblivious. See, Lincoln, he had this thing, A hand shot up. Biden nodded toward the kid. Go ahead, son. The boy's face was twisted in suppressed laughter. Sir, when did you meet Lincoln? The room exploded with laughter. Biden blinked, looking genuinely confused for a second. What's so funny? A red-haired boy barely got his words out between laughs. Dude, Lincoln died in like 1865. More howling. Biden opened his mouth, then closed it. His face flushed slightly. Well, now hold on. That's not what I lear. A kid near the front wiped a tear from her eye. Yo, my grandpa wasn't even alive then. Biden held up a hand. Now, listen, that was a joke. All right. I was just, you gotta have fun with history. That's what my pop used to. But the kids weren't listening anymore. They were whispering, laughing, exchanging knowing looks. One boy nudged his friend. Bro, this is so bad. A girl in the back, who had been mostly quiet, suddenly called out, Mr. Biden, what year is it? The class lost it. Biden exhaled through his nose, trying to stay composed. He smiled, though it was clear now that the laughter was starting to rattle him. All right. You kids got jokes. But let me tell you something, I'm still the President of the United States. A boy near the window shrugged. Yeah, but for how much longer? Roaring laughter. Biden straightened his tie, glancing toward Principal Harrington, who was standing awkwardly near the door, clearly unsure if he should step in. The president took another deep breath. He had lost the room, and Worshie didn't know how to get it back. The laughter was louder now. It wasn't just a few snickers, it was open, unrestrained. The kids had lost all fear. Biden rubbed his forehead and chuckled weakly. All right. You kids are having your fun. But let's focus, huh? I was saying something real important. A boy in the back leaned forward. Yeah, Mr. President. What were you saying? More giggles. Biden hesitated, tapping his fingers against the podium. Well, we were talking about, he snapped his fingers. Tolerance, that's it, inclusion. Being good to folks, treating them right. A blonde girl raised her hand. Mr. Biden? Biden sighed in relief. Yeah, sweetheart? She smiled sweetly. Where are we right now? The room went dead, silent for half a second. Then, chaos. Kids screamed with laughter. Oh my God. No way. He doesn't know? Biden frowned, holding up his hands. Hey, come on now. I know where we are. We're in, His eyes darted to the whiteboard. Jefferson Middle School. But the kids weren't listening anymore. A boy in the second row clutched his stomach. Dude, he read the board. Another boy wiped away tears. Bro really had to double check. Biden forced a laugh. All right, smart guys. Let me see how smart you really are. A tall boy smirked. Oh, we're pretty smart, sir. Biden nodded. All right. Then, what year did we sign the Declaration of Independence? Several hands shot up. The 4th of July, 1776. A girl in the front row said easily. Biden grinned. That's right. Good. Smart kid, real smart. Now, who was president when we signed it? Silence. Kids looked at each other. A boy squinted. Nobody? Biden blinked. No, that ain't right. He scratched his head. Well, now see, you had George Washington. Washington wasn't president yet, a kid blurted out. A loud groan filled the room. Oh no. Oh my God. Bro. Biden's eyebrows furrowed. Wait, what? Of course he was. Huh? A kid near the back burst out laughing. He thinks Washington signed it as president. Another kid leaned back in his chair, shaking his head. Nah, this is actually insane. Biden waved a hand. Now, hold on. Let me. He cleared his throat. All right, different question. What year did Lincoln sign the Emancipation Proclamation? 1863, a boy answered immediately. Biden nodded. That's right. And, who was president when that happened? The same boy blinked. Lincoln? A pause. Biden clapped his hands together. That's right. Honest Abe. Great guy. I met him once. The classroom exploded. Kids doubled over in their seats. No way. Bro, what? He met Lincoln? Biden frowned. Now, come on now, I didn't say. A boy held up his hands, pretending to be a news anchor. Breaking news. President Joe Biden met Abraham Lincoln. The entire class howled. A girl pounded her desk. He thinks he was alive back then. A boy gasped between laughs. This dude is ancient. Biden raised his hands. Now, listen. A girl in the front row giggled. Sir, what year is it right now? The classroom lost it. A kid near the back nearly fell out of his chair. Oh, this is bad. We gotta help him. Biden's jaw clenched. Now, look here. I know exactly where I am, and I know what year it is, all right? The blonde girl grinned. Then say it. The room fell completely still. Every kid stared at him, waiting. Biden opened his mouth. Nothing came out. A boy in the front row whispered, Oh man, he's thinking about it. A girl covered her mouth. Dude. Biden forced a chuckle. You kids are something else. You know that? He wiped his forehead, looking toward Principal Harrington at the back of the room. The principal was staring at the floor, shifting uncomfortably. Biden turned back to the class. All right, let's keep going. You in the front. What's your name again? The curly-haired boy grinned. You don't remember? Biden hesitated. The boy raised an eyebrow. You do remember my name, right? The room leaned in. Biden forced a smile. Of course I do, son. You're He pointed at him. The boy smirked. Jack? A half-second of silence. Then, explosion. The laughter was so loud it shook the walls. Kids banged on desks. The curly-haired boy collapsed in his chair. No way. He just guessed, Jack. Biden's face went red. Now, come on. Now, let's... The red-haired girl choked out. This is so bad. A boy near the back wiped his eyes. I can't breathe. Biden exhaled through his nose. All right. You kids got jokes. But let me tell you something, I'm still the President of the United States. The boy near the window shrugged. Yeah, but for how much longer? The class erupted. Biden's hands tightened into fists. All right, enough. That's enough. This is a serious lesson. A kid near the back whispered. Oh man, he's mad. Biden straightened his tie, looking toward Principal Harrington. The principal still wouldn't look at him. The president took a deep breath. He had lost them. Completely. And the worst part? They knew it. Biden took a deep breath, gripping the podium tighter. All right. You kids had your fun. But let's get serious now, huh? Let's talk about... A boy in the second row smirked. About what? Scranton? Laughter. Biden clenched his jaw. Now, listen. A different kid cut in. Or wait. Tell us about the time you and Abraham Lincoln hung out. The class erupted. A red-haired girl wiped a tear from her eye. Oh my God, this is so bad. A boy in the back mimicked Biden's voice. Back when I was a kid, folks, we didn't have all these fancy telephones. We how do you know the kind with Thea thing. More howling laughter. Biden's face turned red. Hey, enough. Show some respect. A kid near the front leaned over to his friend. Wait, does he even know we're joking? Another whispered back. Dude, I don't think so. Biden's breathing was heavy now. His mind was spinning, the voices blending together. The classroom was starting to feel wrong. He pointed a shaking finger at the class. You kids, you don't get it. You gotta listen when folks like me we been through. A boy in the back held up his phone. Yo, I'm literally live streaming this. Another kid laughed. Dude, no way. A girl giggled. What's the title? The boy grinned. President Biden forgets where he is live. The class lost it. Biden's stomach dropped. Hey, you turn that off? The boy just smirked. Huh? What was that, Mr. President? Can you say that again? I kind of forgot what we were talking about. Another boy whispered. Oh my God, they're actually cooking him. The laughter swelled, growing louder and louder, bouncing off the walls, filling every inch of the classroom. Biden's heart pounded. His vision blurred for a moment. Then, he turned sharply toward Principal Harrington. All right, that's it. I think we're done here. The principal, who had been pretending to check his watch for the last 5 minutes, snapped his head up. Oh, yes, of course, sir. Biden waved a hand. Just get me out of here. The classroom was howling as the President of the United States turned and stormed out the door. As soon as he stepped into the hallway, the voices behind him exploded. He left. He actually left. No way. This was the best day of school ever. Biden's face burned with humiliation as Principal Harrington struggled to keep up beside him. I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know what happened. They're usually much better behaved. Biden gritted his teeth. Just where's the exit? A few students had peeked out into the hallway, whispering and snickering. Biden picked up his pace. At the school's front entrance, his limousine was already waiting. The Secret Service had seen enough. They had moved fast. An agent opened the door for him. Biden climbed in, gripping the leather seat as the door shut. Silence. For a long moment, he just sat there, breathing. Then, the car pulled away, leaving Jefferson Middle School behind. Inside the school, the kids were still cheering. And on social media, the live stream was already going viral.